Most guests think rope drop is just about showing up early. It is not. These mistakes will cost you hours, and most people are making all of them. Rope drop is the single most powerful tool you have at Magic Kingdom. Done right, it sets you up to knock out 3 or 4 major attractions before the average guest has even finished their first cup of coffee. Done wrong, and you are standing in a 90-minute line by 10 a.m. wondering where the morning went. In this video, we are breaking down the 8 biggest rope drop mistakes guests make, and exactly what to do instead. Stay with us because mistake number 5 is one almost everyone gets wrong, even the experienced Disney planners. Welcome aboard. Mistake number 1. Arriving at park opening. This is the most common and the most costly mistake. Rope drop does not mean arriving when the park opens. By the time the gates open at 9 a.m., the guests who actually know what they are doing are already 30 to 45 minutes ahead of you, inside the park. Security lines alone can take 15 to 20 minutes on a busy morning. If you are in line at security at 9 a.m., you have already lost rope drop. The fix is simple. Plan to arrive at the park entrance at least 45 to 60 minutes before official opening. If early entry starts at 8:30, that means being through security and on Main Street no later than 7:30 a.m. For regular rope drop at 9 a.m., be through security by 8 to 8:15 at the latest. Most guests think an hour early is excessive. Those same guests are the ones waiting 75 minutes for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train by 10 a.m. Mistake number 2, stopping for castle photos at rope drop. This one is painful because it feels so natural. You walk through the gates, you see the castle, and every instinct tells you to stop and take that photo. Do not yet. The castle will be there at 11:30 a.m., it will be there at 2 p.m., it will be there after fireworks when the lighting is actually better. What will not be there is that 15-minute wait for Jungle Cruise or that 20-minute window for Peter Pan. That time is gone the moment the crowds surge. The rope drop advantage is measured in minutes, not hours, and stopping for photos at 9:05 a.m. is burning. Minutes you cannot get back. Save the castle photos for the midday lull when the crowds are riding and the hub is clear. You will get a better shot anyway. Mistake number 3. Confusing early entry with regular rope drop. These are 2 completely different scenarios, and using the wrong strategy for the wrong situation will put you behind immediately. Early entry at Magic Kingdom gives Disney Resort guests and select partner hotel guests access to specific lands, primarily Fantasyland and Tomorrowland, 30 minutes before the official park opening. If you are a resort guest treating early entry like regular rope drop and heading straight for Adventureland at 8:30, you are going to walk into a closed land gate. If you are an off-property guest trying to apply an early entry strategy without having access, you will be standing outside while resort guests are already riding. Know exactly which situation applies to you before you step foot in the park. Your entire morning route depends on it, and there is no recovering from a wrong start. Mistake number 4, zigzagging across the park. This one quietly destroys more Disney days than people realize. The park feels manageable on the map, but walking from Tomorrowland to Adventureland and back to Fantasyland eats up 10 to 15 minutes of travel each way. Do that 3 or 4 times before noon and you have lost nearly an hour just to walking. Add in crowds slowing you down and you can easily add another 10 minutes on top of that. The smarter approach is to cluster your morning by land. If you start in Fantasyland, stay in Fantasyland. Hit Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, then Peter Pan, then stack lower demand attractions like Winnie the Pooh or Under the Sea, while the other lands absorb the surge. If you start in Tomorrowland, hit Space Mountain, position near Tron, and then work toward Fantasyland. Every land transition should be intentional and planned, not reactive. Map out your morning route the night before and commit to it. Spontaneous zigzagging is one of the fastest ways to turn a great morning into a frustrating one. Mistake number 5. Eating during peak rope drop hours. Stopping for a full breakfast between 9 and 10:30 a.m. is one of the most expensive decisions you can make at Magic Kingdom. Not financially, but in terms of time. That first 60 to 90 minutes after park opening is the most efficient window of the entire day. Ride capacity is high, lines are at their shortest, and the crowd surge has not fully built yet. Sitting down to eat during? That window is trading your most valuable time for a meal you could have just as easily at 11 a.m. Eat before you arrive, grab something at your resort, or pick up a quick snack on Main Street and keep moving. If you absolutely need to eat during the morning, use mobile ordering through the My Disney Experience app so you are not standing in a food line. Place your order while you are waiting in line for an attraction and pick it up during a natural transition between lands. Time your actual sit-down meal for 11 a.m., just before the lunch rush, or after 1:30 p.m. when things thin back out. Time saved on meals is every bit as valuable as time saved in ride lines. Mistake number 6. Following the crowd instead of pivoting. Here is something most guests never think to do. Watch where everyone else is going and then go somewhere different. The majority of rope drop guests make a beeline for the same 3 or 4 attractions every single morning. Tron, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Peter Pan. If you are part of that surge without early entry, you are not beating anyone. You are joining the back of a very long line. The pivot strategy works because crowd distribution at Magic Kingdom is predictable. While the surge floods into Fantasyland and Tomorrowland, Adventureland ramps up noticeably slower. Jungle Cruise at 9:05 a.m. is typically a 10 to 15 minute wait. By 10:30 a.m., that same ride is sitting at 60 to 75 minutes, and it stays there for most of the afternoon. Pirates of the Caribbean has strong capacity and builds even slower. If you are an off-property guest, a family that does not need every thrill ride, or anyone who wants a smoother start with less chaos, Adventureland at Official Rope Drop is one of the most underrated strategic moves in the entire park. Mistake number 7. Misusing Lightning Lane or ignoring it completely. Lightning Lane is not just a convenience add-on. Used correctly, it is a strategy layer that determines what your afternoon looks like. The mistake most guests make is not skipping Lightning Lane entirely. It is booking it reactively instead of proactively, which means they end up using expensive Lightning Lane passes on rides they actually could have walked onto with a reasonable wait. The goal is to protect the attractions you will not physically reach until later in the day. If you started your morning in Adventureland, you are not getting to Peter Pan or Space Mountain until late morning at the earliest, and those waits will be at their worst by then. Book Lightning Lane for those rides early while you are physically standing in line for Jungle Cruise. Then by the time you finish your morning cluster of attractions, your Lightning Lane reservations are already locked in and your afternoon has real structure. For 2026, keep in mind that Buzz Lightyear's reopening in April is likely to see inflated wait times for the first couple of months. If you are visiting in spring or early summer, that one is worth protecting with a Lightning Lane or a single pass. Mistake number 8. Leaving before the last hour of the day. This is the mirror image of mistake number 1. Just as most guests arrive too late for rope drop, most guests also leave too early at the end of the day. In the final hour before park close, a significant portion of the crowd has already headed out. Families with young children leave for bedtime. Guests who did not plan for the evening exit right after the fireworks. What that means for you is that the park gets noticeably quieter in that final stretch than it has been since early morning. Attractions that had 80-minute waits at 3 p.m. can drop to 20 or 25 minutes by 9:30 p.m. And here is something most guests never learn. You can get in line for most Magic Kingdom attractions right up until official park closing time. If the park closes at 10 p.m. and you join the queue at 9:58 p.m., you ride. That is not a trick or a loophole, that is simply how it works. The guests who execute a strong rope drop in the morning and stay smart through park close at night are consistently the ones who ride the most without spending $1 on Lightning Lane. Rope drop done right is not about being the first person through the gate. It is about arriving prepared, knowing your route, and not wasting the most efficient hours of the day on decisions you could have made the night before. Avoid these 8 mistakes, and your Magic Kingdom morning will look completely different from what most guests experience. If you want to go even deeper on rope drop routes, the exact paths for early entry guests, off-property guests, and families based on your priorities, we have a full breakdown right here. Click or tap that video, and we will see you there.